For sure. Thanks. Like the difference, like where is Shroud or где Shroud? You know, it's like
just где
just the
Shroud?
side.
Где Shroud?
Yeah, Shroud.
Где Shroud? If you wanna like ты где, it's more like where are you? Ты где?
Yeah. Or
Mhm.
fuck.
I'm trying. I'm already. It's so hard for like to change quickly between English and Russian.
Где?
Ты,
Где?
like this
Где?
this
Ты где?
this. I don't like гласные, согласные. Блин, я нахрена просто уже, знаешь, поговори с английскими людьми, пытаешься объяснять им говорить на русском и начинаешь сам говорить как какой-нибудь хоккеист, который прожил в Америке лет 25, и начинаешь говорить эти sausage is pretty вкусные. Вот это всякая фигня. Начинаешь комбинировать слова. I know.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I have no idea what anyone is saying. All right, I'm just putting that out there.
This is a Russian lessons for clean life. I know that
this is content.
It's really good. Молодец.
Yeah, I know that chat. I think there is a lot of people, Russian speaking people in chat. So, привет.
I'm writing this all down. Chat's yelling at me if I don't. They're gonna scold me if I don't. By the end of this podcast, I need to know Russian. So.
Yeah. So like about Russian, I personally I love languages, different languages. For me, I have a dream to actually learn Spanish also, because I like Spanish language like a lot. So like to know different languages, it's a cool thing actually. And
you're trying to pick up some Latin women or something, Nikita?
What?
Some Latin women, Mexican females.
Hey, let the man shoot his shot. Okay.
I'm not hating. I'm encouraging him.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm all right. I have a family. I'm all right. Thank you. I just want to watch some movies without any subtitle support on different languages. It's kind of cool, and it has Spanish language has its own cool features, like sentences marked with the up down, how to say it? I don't know. Восклицательные знаки по-английски, я не помню, как называется.
Upside down question mark? The question mark?
Question mark and other
exclamation mark.
Yes,
for,
exclamation.
Yelling.
Yeah. They put it on at the start and at the end with the upside down. It's kind of cool for me when I saw it first. Okay, so what should we do next?
Where would you like to start? Because I mean,
it's all informal, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just gonna circle. I'm gonna circle the wagons because Chad and I have been talking about it. Klean, you and I have talked about it. How are we? Okay. Is there anything on BSG's list to resolve what essentially seems like an issue with hatchlings? People will speed run in as a hatchling, grab stuff, gamma it, and we've even watched people gamma things and literally back out of the game.
Yeah, the hatchling problem in the game exists for sure, and not a single day pass sees as I'm thinking about it every single day how to actually solve it, and different methods could bring a lot of issues, could bring a lot of work actually to do something in the game. So the easiest thing for me is just to forbid some things being put into the container. For example, I thought about it today. We could just forbid to put the barter items in the container. Just barter items. Every item will be allowed. Right now, we have some kind of filtration to it, and we just add to these filters this ability to put barter items. It could significantly decrease the amount of hatchlings because it's all about barter items, expensive barter items. So key is all right. I don't know what's more, like key, medication stuff, and
ammo.
ammo, and
weapon scopes, attachments, suppressors.
weapons are forbidden.
Yeah,
Attachments.
weapons
Yes.
you can't do right now. You
Yeah.
can't put in
Yeah,
armor.
no,
Like
no,
I can't gamma my helmet right now. I
you
don't think
can,
Yes.
you can,
you can. Okay.
you can. Yeah, I did it
So
today.
we can add this to every secured container. It's like easy to do. What's I
S-
think like it could end this actually,
Mhm.
and
we
So
had a suggestion from my chat earlier, and I actually kind of like this idea. I'm okay with being able to gamma those kind of things. But is it possible to put on like a timer before you're able to put anything in there? So like the first 15 minutes of the raid, those things can't be gammaed. So like the hatchlings, yeah, they sprint in, they run to the spots, they have to stand there and wait, and it gives players that are playing with gear an opportunity to go to those locations, find a hatchling, pop him, take the stuff that he's waiting on. So people can't just speed run in and gamma it. Because I don't like
Mhm.
I don't want to you don't want to restrict the player from being able to gamma the things they find it to be extremely important within reason. Like, yeah, I get not being able to put a pistol and stuff in there, but
Mhm.
yeah, I want to save. Like, if I get a super important item, I don't want to have to play the most, and pardon me if this term doesn't translate, but like butthole puckering way of playing Tarkov, like the super high tension, sneak my way out all the time. If I have something good, I'd rather be able to gamma it, but eventually, once a certain amount of time has gone by. So, like a 15-minute window at the beginning where you can't gamma any of those barter items. So, hatchlings have to sit and wait, and they're going to get popped by people that go to those locations anyway. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it will look like the hatchling invasion after 15 minutes.
they'll
True.
just wait in a bush or something, like
Like
just sit in a bush.
people will check the time and say, in 2 minutes they're gonna be here. Get ready.
Yeah. So for me, there's two type of hatchet players that I see. You have your high level player, very experienced, generally will have good keys, and they know exactly where the good loot is, and they rush towards that at the very beginning, and they unlock the door, grab the Bitcoin or the gold chain, whatever it may be, and they put it in their container. And then you have the players who are inexperienced, who don't have anything at all, and the only reason they are hatchet running is just because they can't bring in any gear because they have nothing. And so for me, obviously the hatchet nerf is mainly towards those people who are experienced, and they do it because they know they are guaranteed to profit upon grabbing whatever item that is that they find. Um, the only reason why I feel like nerfing the container is a bad thing is because it does inhibit those players who are inexperienced and are just trying to learn the game. They're having a hard time. For me, I think a good substitute, if the container change did come, would be tiers of scabs, because I know you guys are planning on like a big scab overhaul with levels and karma and stuff like that. But I don't know if this could be done, but to have multiple scabs tied to the intelligence section of the hideout. So if you have no intelligence, you have your tier 1 scab. It has like 2 to 3 minute cooldown. The best gun he could get is maybe like an Obras. It's like the best thing. He has really bad gear, scav vest, maybe spawns with a backpack. And when he spawns into the raid, he's low HP, maybe low energy or low hydration or all of the above. And so he has low conditions. So the goal of that scab is to go in and find food, water, and survive. And then you can go get the loot. And you can kind of use the scab as much as you want. So that way the players who are struggling, they can keep just throwing themselves into a raid over and over and over without losing much on their PMC. And at the same time, you're not basically fluctuating in all of these scabs that have like Vepr Hunters and R700s and like really good gear. So that way players can just keep going in and trying and trying and trying. And, they don't have that great of gear. So if they end up getting out of the raid with good loot, like they went from like nothing to like starving and hungry to, getting a bunch of gear out of the raid. And then as you level up the intelligence in the hideout, you get another scab that has a longer cooldown. And then you could have like, say, 4 tiers of scabs, one with 2-minute cooldown, one with a 10-minute cooldown, one with a 30-minute cooldown, and then like a 24-hour cooldown for like a scab boss, scab raider, that the player could use if they wanted to. Because
I got the idea. Like for me, it will enrich the scav gameplay, like to levels that you will just play your scav and that's it, because PMC will be not so like not so easy to play. as scav, because you will have so much of variety to actually select many different types of scavs, and you will actually have fun. It's not intended to have fun in our game, so we need to balance things, because the scav gameplay, the tiers of scavs, it's kind of cool, yes, and I want this to be linked to scav DLC, where you will have a lot of things like scav leveling, scav tiers, and stuff. It could be possible, and right now people should play PMC more, and the the thing is that you need to make some money in the game to get some cool stuff and build up your hideout, and it's kind of hard, and people abuse the secure container. People I saw yesterday, and people bring the scav junk box into the raid and pick just everything in
Wait,
Really?
you fit it into the what is it, the cap?
Yes, and it will be fixed, because we will apply new weight reduction things, like weight limitations and stamina decreases and sprint speed decreases related to weight and overweight.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's gonna
because
be
right
awesome.
now it's not working, and actually I don't understand how it went this way, because it's a kind of important thing in the game. I think this 9 months 0.12 patch messed things in the plans, and we kind of missed the thing that we need to actually implement the correct way of weight management and overweight consequences.
Stalker,
Maybe my guy just works out a whole lot. All right.
So I do have to say, with a weight system, so one thing that I think could actually be kind of cool is, so depending on your character's weight, it would obviously affect your ergonomics of your character. But one added benefit of being overweight that a lot of people don't actually know is you actually get better recoil control when shooting full auto guns. Because if you're very heavy, you have a lot of mass on your character, you're actually able to shoot a gun easier because it doesn't recoil as much, because you have much more mass on your body. So I think a fun thing that could happen is, so depending on your weight, obviously depending on the armor you bring in, stuff like that. If I go very lightweight, say like NVGs, no helmet, 511 plate carrier pistol, if I'm walking, I'm very sneaky. All the sounds I make, very quiet. But as soon as I increase that weight, I fill my backpack up with loot. I grab more stuff. Maybe I find some armor. I wear this armor. And my character's very overweight. I'm slow. I sprint. I lose stamina very quickly. But I am really good at shooting full auto. You know what I mean? I'm basically like a walking tank. It's a lot easier for me to shoot. And so I think adding a system to where there's benefits or pros and cons depending on how you go into the raid could it's almost like a class system that kind of is affected by your weight, if that makes sense.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, there will be the ergonomics debuffs and recoil buffs. It's all planned in this system, and we're not about it. We're talking about hatchling problem. So but we can do something to it, and I don't know, because there is such type of issues, such type of problems in your life. You understand that it could be solved, but the only scenario that you're thinking constantly about, with a like with a sharp move, cut the thing away.
Yeah, rip the band-aid off is, I think,
yes, and it's we can do it. We can do this thing to actually rip the thing off and make these limitations, and it will end the hatchling thing. But I think, and I'm sure, that there is something more that we can apply to this problem, and it will be in perfect balance. And I'm constantly thinking about it, what to do. And I don't know, maybe Lupo can say something about it.
The other idea, I think that for me, one of the biggest things about this game is once you, because there's no map. You know, you can look on Reddit or look online and find maps that people have built of the game, but overall, a majority of my knowledge has come from playing. So you learn the locations, that's part of the experience is the player gaining the knowledge of where they're supposed to go to get certain things. So as you get better, you know these locations, you can run to them, you can go get that stuff. And so if I have a player that has nothing and they go there and they take the stuff before I get there, I mean, they're going to run faster than me no matter what if I have gear on just because I'm naturally a little bit slower. So you're taking away, I feel like the hatchling is taking away this ability for players that have learn these loot locations. And I don't want to randomize the loot. I like the idea of like knowing that a key can spawn in this spot. It's not always a guarantee, but it's there. And I benefit from having that knowledge. What the hatchling is doing is taking away that learned skill increase for the player themselves. I even though I know that spot, since a hatchling knows it and they're faster, they're gonna get the thing. Potentially what you could do is force a certain number of gear pieces or like require a weapon be in the hands of the hatchling. Even I mean it's just going to be it could be just a trash pistol, and yeah, that's not really mitigating a ton. You're still spending a little bit of money though. Like they have to have a PM in their hand. It's 8 shots that you probably aren't going to get a kill with, but
Mhm.
something has to be on the player in order for the gamma to be usable, or even more than that. Somebody in chat had mentioned that Grims threw out an idea of a gear score style requirement system for the gamma for you to be able to deposit things into the gamma. So like a body armor is worth 5 points, a helmet's worth 3, a gun is worth 4, and so long as you're over 10 points, you can put things that are okayed into the gamma. That way, you have to have a kit in order to start putting things in. You can go into the raid with stuff in the gamma, and take it out and do what you need to do with it, meds, that kind of thing, bullets, anything like that. But putting things in requires that you have a certain number of points or a certain quantity of gear on the character before you could start putting things in. Something like that. Is
Mhm.
it basically anything to prevent players taking advantage of the fact that they're butt naked essentially and running in. And yeah, those are things you can pick up in raid too, which is totally fine. You still just the fact that they have to play. And for me, you even said earlier, uh, the game's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be
Fun.
just like fun, fun, fun. It's supposed to be difficult. You want the game to be hard. It's a one of the most realistic shooters, not the most realistic mainstream shooter that's out right now by a mile. And so like you want it to be difficult for players. That is part of the fun. It's not supposed to be like it's not an arcade shooter. It's not Call of Duty. It's not
Let's go
Fortnite.
have fun, guys. Play Escape from Tarkov. It's
Right?
gonna be a great
It's
time. No, it's gonna stomp your
it's
nuts.
like, hey, yeah, dude, and yes, not the day before yesterday. That's exactly what happened. Is I got my ass kicked and it sucked. But you know what? The next day, I got back on and had a freaking blast. It was still fun. It was still it. That's part of the attraction of the game. So I think
Mhm.
somebody in chat said, "Isn't going in naked a risk versus reward way to play it? All you're risking if you have no gear on is out of raid meds, and that's it.
It's
And
like
even then,
20K.
you could just wait time." And
Okay,
that goes away.
okay. So I'm just like thinking about it. So like the idea is gear score, like the overall idea to have this true track, like the true track of experience. This like term popped up like not so long time ago. It's it's meant to be played like this. Like the container thing is not a realistic thing at all, and it kind of ruined the gameplay and this Tarkov experience, to Tarkov experience. So for me personally, and I said it before, I don't like the idea that you can save items in a secure container. But we have a lot of players, like mediocre players, arcade players, like not arcade players, casual players, arcade
Casual.
Yeah.
players.
They just can't
Yeah, and
dedicate all the time.
they
Yeah.
it will be a struggle for them. But you know,
You don't want to drive a player base away. You don't want to turn them away because they're like, well, I can't save anything. I don't want to play anymore. There's like zero fun. There still has to be something. I mean, a nice way of saying it is, yeah, noobs need, the low skill, not as serious players like Clean and I and Shroud. we're a bad example of this because if I lose all my shit, I'll still be like, go again. But a player
Mhm.
that doesn't have our kind of time, that can't play it all day, they're going to get frustrated. The
Mhm.
case that gamma is important for them to be able to feel like they're making any progress at
Progress.
all.
That's why I feel like there should be a scav that players can just throw themselves in the game with like low tier gear,
Yeah,
because
I understand, Klean, your idea, but your idea will require a lot of work.
yeah, it's
Actually,
a lot of programming, I imagine.
like the scav, like the gear score will require too a lot of work, but a
Yeah.
little bit less.
For me,
My-
Nikita, personally, I am all for just like no items in container. Like I'm all for that. To be honest, with no additives, but
Yeah, so let me ask chat. Right in chat. Pickle.
oh, Shroud will be here in 10, by the way.
Nice. Pickle if you do hatchet runs. No, if you do not do hatchet runs. Like, what's the percentage?
So you want yeses in chat if they do hatchet runs, no if they don't.
Why don't you have the community team put a poll on the official forums and stuff?
A majority of my chat is yes.
So, guys, will you be okay if we will disallow to put barter items into the cases? Like, will you be okay with it? You will need to actually put these items in your inventory, in your backpacks, gear, like vest and things, and can actually survive to get these items out of the raid. No, yes, no,
Seeing
yes.
a lot of yeses that are okay with
yes.
barter items not going into the container. There's gonna be this looks a little more evenly cut, but it's still I think favored on the yes side. But you're gonna have players that are like, I have no money, and what's the point of the secure container then if I can't use it to secure barter items, stuff like that.
Well, I always tell people it's like, look, that's for you to put bullets, for your meds, the keys that you manage to extract with that you can use repeatedly. You're not going to lose those, because like the reason why I like the idea of nerfing the containers is it makes it to where anything that spawns in the raid stays in the raid until something extracts, emphasizing the extraction and getting out of the raid alive. Because when a player can just go in, put something in container, disconnect, they benefit. They didn't even complete the gameplay loop, which is to spawn in raid, kill players, kill scavs, complete quests, explore and loot, extract. That's the gameplay loop of EFT. And you know, like, even if there are no additives to help the players who are struggling, I'm still all for the container change, because that's only going to be a two-way street. Because you're going to kill players. Holy shit, he had a lab card in his pocket. Or holy shit, he had a flash drive. Or you find a flash drive, then you get killed. You lost that flash drive. That sucks, but it's a two-way street. Players are going to have more interesting gear on them that they find in a raid. I always use the example as the scav. When you spawn in with the lab key card as a scav, you're like, shit, I have a key card. I kind of just want to leave now, because you know you can't just throw that in your container. You don't get that security. So,
guys, the chat who are voting no for this change, you must understand that it's not true to actually have this kind of feature. I know it's a relief for you, like to finally find something, put it in the container, and that's where the true Tarkov experience ends for you and for other people who will like kill you. Or you'll just alter for the game or disconnect. That's where the game goes in the direction that we are like we don't want to actually go. So like for me it's a hard change, because I know that there is people who are playing like this way. I know there's a lot of people who actually abuse this thing to get the money, to get the income in the game, because they just can't play enough. Like they just can't play as like Klean, as Lupo, as Shroud. They struggle and they trying to make money, but it's a lot of negative things in this, like more than the positives, like a lot of like I don't know how to say it more like precisely. It's ruining many things in the gameplay, that you have the ability to actually save any items you found, especially You interrupt me, Klean.
Sorry, I'm sorry, man.
Especially expensive items, especially expensive barter items. So let us think more about it.
Yeah,
What about if loot was better? Like, what if like filing cabinets, jackets, duffel bags all had chances to spawn rare keys and lab cards? And like, what if like locations in general, containers, would just have more items in containers, so that if there's just more loot, players can loot, get items, and then try and get out. So that could at least mitigate like not being able to put it in your container, so players have a higher chance to find stuff versus them actually having to extract with it, versus how it is now, where some things can be kind of scarce.
It also will require a lot of changes in the loot tables, I think, and it's still.
Somebody actually put in chat. So, what about an opportunity where or like so you want to run a hatchling run? That's fine, but if you have no weapon equipped, you get spawned during a scav wave later in the raid. So you can hatchling run all you want, but you're gonna pop up after some of that stuff that you're trying to speed run for is potentially gone. Like,
could you tag and curse hatchlings?
Oh God.
So like you spawn in, you're already tagged and cursed by scavs.
Dude, look, I can see this is a very clearly a difficult. It's got to be one of the most difficult subjects at BSG right now for the way the game is. Because look at chat, look at Nikita's face. He is just as tired of it as and the issue as everybody else, and I get it. Ultimately, like whatever you guys end up doing, do what is going to be best for the health of the game and the player base. Because I mean, I remember back during like 0.7, 0.8, and Klean's been playing since before me. During the end of some of those before wipes, the player base was so low that you even told me, Klean, you go into factory runs by yourself. I don't want to ever get back to that. The way that it is right now, the player count right now feels like it feels populated. I see people every raid. Do not drive those people away. And I think we're gonna trust BSG in the long run to do what they think is best. What you guys think is best for your game is what we want you to do. I know it's stressful, and I'm sorry for that.
100%. I agree.
There was a poll just before, and it shows that people want to actually disallow items like barter items. Not every item, just barter items be put into the container, but the percentage was not so convincing. It was like 52 versus 48. It's like half and half, and it's not so like the deal. It's not a deal maker.
I think you should I think you should do an official poll on all your social medias from like the entire community, not just the streams here, but like Twitter, forums, Reddit.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Just to know people reaction on this, and just to know the overall mood. We will describe the idea once more. Actually, like I have right here opened up how to say configuration files or something. I can do it like in 2 clicks
right now.
Right
do
now,
it,
yeah.
Nikita. Press it, Nikita. Change it. Do it. Do it.
Like
kidding.
Like for me, the goal was to have 30,000 concurrent users, 30,000 online in the game. For me, it was the goal when I will sit down and say, "Good work, Nikita. You made it. You made it." And right now, the numbers like much more bigger than what I expected, and it's not even a release. And I know that the game. The simple word, but I forgot. The game. The short browse. Come on. Okay, debug mode. What the hell?
Что за хрень?
Что за хрень? I need to find the correct word. I'm sorry. Attract.
I will say, your English is actually extremely good, by the way.
Very good.
Thank you. Yeah, I need to talk more, and I switch to mode when I'm so fluent and so cool. So like for me, it's a kind of cool. Also, I like the way how fast I can speak in English. So the game right now attracts a lot of people, not from the pool of hardcore players that we are like targeted for. We was targeting for. So it means that the game attracts casual players, and we actually can transform casual players into the hardcore players. It's a mission, it's the mission to transform casual players to true, experienced, dedicated hardcore players, to open the world of hardcore gaming for them, hardcore PC gaming, of course. That's the idea. So, and without like some of the features that we have in a game, like secured containers, I don't know, like scuff gameplay, like some other things, it could be super hard for them to actually fill in the game process. But as I said before, we already reached the plans, and I always wanted to have dedicated hardcore players in the game who will play the game as intended, and we be able we will be we will be able to produce the game as we thought, as we planned, within the concept of like true hardcore experience without any mm, without any
Training wheels, I believe, is the term.
training
Yeah.
wheels, safe zones,
Yes.
like something that will get you from the real life and put into the virtual environment of EFT.
Yep.
And that means we have to make the game more realistic and more hardcore. And that means we need to do something with the secured containers. It's not about the hatchlings. It also will influence on the hardcore players too, because the risk reward will like change. The risk will be much higher than now. And as I know, the game itself, it's already super stressful for people, and I
Well,
just
Nikita,
don't want to break this thing.
I don't think you'll break anybody, Nikita, because at the end of the day, if you change containers, it's going to increase the risk reward. You're right, but at the same time, it's also going to allow for players on both sides to get more loot. You kill a player, he has a key in his pocket. You can take that and you extract it with it. Or you're that player, you found the key, and then you get killed. It's a two-way street. It sucks, but at the same time, it's also more rewarding for players to kill each other. Because once,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Because it's just anything that is in the raid stays in that raid outside of a container until somebody extracts. And once they extract, they have it. They can throw it in their container. They can use that key as much as they want. And they feel rewarded. They're like, I completed the gameplay loop. I survived. So you get rewarded for doing so, and then you can put it in your container. Because even though, yeah, it's kind of like, it sucks because you can't guarantee to secure an item. Like, you know, like right now, like, oh, you find a Bitcoin, and then you die that raid. You're like, whatever, I still found a Bitcoin. It's fine. But it's only going to increase that tension more. And I think that's only going to make the game more exciting by preventing players from putting stuff in their container. So
yeah, actually, you'll be able to kill people and find some cool loot on them, not
exactly.
just some shit, some ammunition, some magazines, and a bandage.
Yep.
They will actually have some cool items.
Also,
And
hello,
they-
Shroud. Welcome.
Hello. So we got a problem with the camera here. I think because I don't know, maybe I'm stupid, but I use this.
So
How do I do
if
it?
if it's being used by OBS, go to whatever the source is in OBS and right click that. Go down to properties. Once that pops up, there should be a deactivate when not showing checkbox. Check that. Close it, and then go to like a blank scene, and it will unhook the camera from OBS, and then you should be able to use it in the app.
Okay.
I am tech support. Smile.
That's what I did actually too.
Hey, wait. Here we go. Maybe. You're a black box right now.
Wait, hold on. I think I have it.
Oh,
I need hold on. Sorry, boys.
nah, you're good, dude. We're just you do your thing. I think we're gonna keep talking if that's okay.
Hey,
Hey,
Oh
look,
yes.
There you are.
you're a little stretched on the camera, but I
Yeah, a
still
little
like you.
stretch. You're still
wait,
pretty.
how do I
I have no idea
It's
why
an
it's doing that.
aspect ratio or something.
this?
That's better.
You're very tall.
There,
Yeah.
Hey,
what?
right
there
there,
you go,
right
there you
there,
go, there you
right
go.
there.
That?
That's money. Yeah, it
Yes.
looks normal.
All right.
Okay.
So actually, now that we have Shroud here, Klean, don't say anything. This is the first time I've ever told you that, unless I'm trying to hear footsteps in the game. I want to hear Shroud's take on the Gamma container.
Ooh. Oh, you guys were just talking about Gamma?
That's what we've been talking about,
Hatchlings and stuff.
Much to the stress of Nikita, that's pretty much all we've been talking about thus far.
So I like and dislike, right? I think the Gamma container should be something that is used to a certain point because a lot of new players will struggle without it. And I do believe a lot of people struggle, not just like a little bit of people. So I don't know if you find like maybe you can use Gamma until 2025 and then you find something new for it, whether it's only items that, usable items like keys and meds. I think it should be changed somehow. I don't know the exact way to change it. The best thing for me would be some sort of like whatever your character has on you. If you have like, chest rig, armor, helmet, gun, okay, you're Gamma safe. But if you have a hatchet, no. But that's kind of hard to do. I'd imagine that from a developing standpoint. I think that'd be really, really difficult. So probably not do that. Maybe maybe even have hatchling spawn like 4 minutes late. I don't know. I think it's just a hatchling problem. That's really it. I don't care if someone's rocking a pistol.
Shroud's in my head right now. I'm loving this, dude.
What is that? What you said?
Some of the things you just said are things that I had suggested, like the late spawns. If you spawn in as a hatchling, like the game check says, all you have is you're not carrying a weapon. You're gonna spawn in late.
Yeah. I don't know. They should at least carry something, shotgun. Even if the game will be like, okay, you're carrying a main weapon. Even if it's a shotgun, at least you're bringing something. So I think that alone would encourage people to just bring a shotgun or whatever cheap weapon, primary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Gamma is important for the low level players and people who struggle because people really, really do struggle. I think us as like decent or Clean being probably the best player here, very rare. I don't think a lot of people are
Yeah,
on
Clean. It's okay to accept that that's the truth. Like Shroud and I know that you know more about this game than either of us. That's okay. Shroud might have god aim, but you literally, bro, you have the knowledge. But I mean, he's right. Like,
Knowledge is
I thi-
power.
I think we're in a situation that's different than a majority of players because we can literally spend. I can play this game 11 hours a day. It can be my job if I want it to be. Like, you know what I mean? And very few other players can have the ability to do that. So you do have to give the player base, the lower skilled, casual, like Nikita said, the casual player base needs a way to not feel like they're constantly getting fucked. They don't want that. Yeah, they can accept like that Killa rolled up and lit them on fire. That's fine. Killa is Killa. You expect to have one of the most difficult AI fights in the game when you go into interchange if he's in there. Like you hear the gun go off, and you're like, okay, dude, this is gonna suck. But new players, they need an opportunity to get out with things. Another thing that Chad had thrown out, and like I said, I don't want to just spend the entire time talking about the Gamma. But somebody had suggested at a certain level, that pouch slot gets disabled once you get high enough. Let's say you get to level 30, and then boom, that's it. The downside is like you're gonna have players that are gonna stop trying to level or stop trying to that do like I just want to grind money on this account. You might have people that end up playing having two accounts, so they have one that they just do scav runs and then dump all that gear to the second one. Believe me, as someone who can have a laptop with a second account up at any time, I've thought of the possibilities of running 2 EFT accounts, that kind of thing. You don't want anything to get abused. It's just like you also don't want to neuter players into a place where bad ones don't feel like they want to play.
Yeah, it's it's another thing to actually have this abuse, because as I'm sure that a lot of players above level 20 or 30 do hatchet runs, especially in the middle wipe or towards the end of wipe, and it's other things. The idea to have like I don't know, gear score or the equipped weapon or some kind, it's I think it's like perfect intermediate thing, because it's not so harsh as disallowance of any barter items being put into container. It's more like the middle thing between this. We will still have the ability to put anything in your container, but you actually need to bring something into the raid, and it's just about what what do you need to bring into the raid, because the hatchet runners will have a lot of PMs. They will just equip PM and go with it, and it still will be cheap for them.
Yeah, it's the cheapest gun I think in the game, right?
But it could change something actually, as at least they will start fighting. Maybe at least they will do something to counter the geared people who want to play the game as intended without this ninja looking thing. so so many so many options to
Yeah.
for me,
Multi-level problem requires multi-level solution.
Yeah, so actually I like the idea to have some kind of gear score. It will not be a gear score, maybe it will be just a weapon. You need some firearm to actually get into the raid. It could be anything, even PM without with ammo at least.
Maybe it just even just requiring a trash weapon, like a bad pistol. Any of those slots be filled will at least change players from just running hatchlings. So I would say, and not that you need my recommendation. Obviously, you know your game better than I do, but dialing it up slowly, like saying, okay, just require any weapon equipped. It doesn't have to. You don't have to like force body armor and headwear and stuff like that. Just require any weapon and see what happens. If that still ends up being a thing where people are like, I don't want to. Now I'm just gonna run PMs. At least they have a PM. They have to fight something, or they're. You never know. You never know. The other side of that is people might put on the PM, insure it, and then spawn in the raid and throw the PM in a bush, and they have like a set of PMs they rotate through.
I was
going
to
to
say that, like insurance companies. More issues.
I'm sorry, Nikita. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think ahead.
I still think it's simple. Just disallow the ability for things to go in your container while in a raid. Or I do like what Nikita suggested, is if it's allowed in the scav junk box, it can't go in a container. So if it can go in scav junk box, it can't go in container. So keys, like your red key card, your shoreline key, stuff like that, if you find the key, you can still secure that if you found like a rare key. So that way at least you still feel some kind of reward if you found something rare. But like bitcoins, gold chains, expensive barter goods, not allowing those in there, I think that would be fine. Honestly.
Speaking of keys, somebody in my chat said this, and I'm in love with the hideout, by the way. You guys freaking killed it, right? But somebody suggested some sort of like end game hideout, like key cutter tool in there, and you have to go around and like find different things on different maps to then build one key for wherever that key may be, rather than doing this stupid thing where obviously you just have to keep running to that one spot and getting that one key. Maybe make the rare ones super random and super rare, but a lot of like the maybe like 400 to a mil keys you can just create, and you have to go around collecting materials to create them. I think that'd be a really cool end game like hideout item.
So they're like the key reproduction center or something.
I think it'd be sweet. I think it would fix. I think it would fix all of your key problems. Like right now, how it's all set spawns. Now you don't have to worry about that. You can leave it set spawns. You can still keep it there, but the option to create keys, I don't know. You guys would find a way. You guys did an awesome job with the hideout, so I'm sure it wouldn't be. I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah,
I think maybe adding like different modules to the workbench, because the workbench has like one module essentially.
Yeah, we will have like different sub modules to the workbench. It will be a repair thing to repair your weapons when it comes like when we implement the durability and stuff like in depth. We will add this mini module, and also we will add many other things into hideout. The hideout will be expanded for sure, especially with the DLCs. We will open up new rooms and stuff, and so that hideout will be cooler later. So I want to ask mods or anybody in the chats to actually run the poll again about to put like disallow to put barter items into the container, yes or no? Barter items only with the limitations that we have right now, plus barter items only. Let's do this poll again and see how it will change.
Do us proud, chat. Vote yes or
Klean. Could you
go away.
re-explain what he just said, because I got confused along the way.
So basically, so Nikita has a suggestion right now, basically making it to where you would not be able to put anything that goes in a scab junk box wouldn't be able to go in your secured container. But if you find like a rare key, like a key card, like lab card, or like a key, like marked key or something, you would be able to throw that in your container still.
Okay. Nice.
So basically, no barter goods, no bitcoins, no gold chains,
no flash drives.
no flash drives. Exactly. It would literally just be rare keys. That would be it. And then like obviously like meds and bullets, some gun attachments like suppressors and scopes would be allowed.
I think the guys got it wrong again. Sorry. They like yes, it means that allow to be these items to be stored.
Like that flipped, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the people want to actually don't have
So
an
hey, let's.
I think a majority of people would want barter items to go in there. I think that's everyone's used to that way of playing, and it could secure them. Like boom, they throw in a flash drive, boom, they have 250K. I think a lot of people do want that. I think it's just I don't think it's a matter of trying to find a way to put it in or anything. I think it's just a matter of losing it somehow. I think that's the way to go.
Let's do like redo the poll. Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yes changed. So how about we'll do this? We'll go yes. Vote yes if you want to see more limitations. So yes, you want more limitations to the containers.
No, not
or
like
do you want it the other way?
Yeah. Yes, if you I don't know how to say it, like so it's so hard. Yes, if you want to have this barter limitation. Yes, if you want these new limitations, like to limit barter items to. No, if you want to keep the secure container like this, like the same as it is right now. Yes, if you want these limitations, new limitations. No, if you want it to keep it the same as it right now.
Got it.
Okay.
Vote, everybody. You okay, Nikita? Do you need some water?
I have some water. A lot of water, actually.
Next time we do this, we need to have a like a Russian translator for times like this where it's
I wanted to see if I could get Ruski, Lupo's buddy, or maybe even Warren to come in here because they both speak fluent Russian and English.
I think it's a fantastic idea, because then if he's like, you struggle with certain things like that, he could just spit it out and then somebody else says it and move along.
Yeah, then we move along.
I'm okay. I'm nervous. I'm pretty nervous, and I'm not nervous just about the thing that it's not about the container limitation things. I'm nervous because there is so many famous people sitting in this podcast. Like, oh my god, like the Shroud. Actually, I watched him so long time ago, and I didn't even imagine that he will play Tarkov and he will like Tarkov actually.
He's been addicted.
And now
he's been addicted.
I have a problem. Yeah, I got a problem.
I have a problem. I'm seeking help.
Yeah.
I mean, the game. the game is exceptional. There's nothing else out really right now that does what Tarkov does, and it's right
Hello?
up it's right up our alley, you know.
Warren is here. Hey, Warren. So if Nikita's having a hard time, like describing something, he's just gonna say it in Russian, and could you translate it for us?
Sure.
Спасибо, брат.
Wait, do you know? Are you fluent in Russian?
Yeah,
Lord?
it's my first language.
Oh my god. Can we get a trial run here? Can we get a Nikita speaks Russian and Warren says it back?
For sure.
Без проблем. Я на самом деле думал, что ты, да, импортный товарищ, а не русский, честно говоря.
Не, я в Канаду переехал, 6 лет назад.
Ну то есть все в порядке, можно, если что-то
I'm
потрещать.
Да,
I don't even have to hear
можно.
the English translation. I'm sold.
Okay, we got it. We got it, guys.
Cool.
Perfect.
Thanks, Warren. Thanks for coming.
I have another question away from the Gamma, because we've talked about the Gamma the entire time. Right now, the flea market is oftentimes at lower prices, owned by what appears to be people running scripts, bots. Is there anything on BSG's radar to resolve that issue? Is there?
Yes. First of all, limitations are winning. Just for your.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to want
70% on my channel.
It's not meant that I will change them, but who knows? Maybe I will press that button and change.
I'm just saying there's definitely a way where you can change and not change it. It could be,
of course,
to a certain point. Once you get to that certain point, at that point, who cares? Have a Gamma. If you're level freaking 30, 40, whatever, and you have so much stuff, your hideout's done, you're killing the game. Okay, just have a Gamma. Like, it's not gonna, like, at that point, who cares, right? But I think at the beginning is, I don't know. It's something. Or sorry, I flipped that. Don't have a Gamma when you're higher level. My bad.
Yeah.
So what are you guys talking about in general?
We're just talking about secured containers.
Yeah.
Hatchlings.
We're talking almost an hour about just secure containers. So let's switch the term to flea market bot. So today I have a talk with the engineer responsible for backends, and we are wanting to add some protective things. So it's not a bot actually, because bots are being banned. We can we see them easily and ban them easily. Right now it's more like scripts or bots. Scripts, macros. They just press specific areas of your screen. Like they simulate actual behavior of human being. And we can actually solve this issue by adding some kind of captcha, the captcha thing.
Yeah.
And it can solve the issue, because we are aware about this issue, and we are constantly thinking about how to solve it properly and without huge changes and a lot of upcoming issues, because could be a lot of upcoming issues. So the idea is about to have some kind of capture to protect the to have some limitations for this scripted behavior.
People will re so hard on Reddit for the fact that they'll have to enter captcha every time.
No, not every time. It will be just
once a day.
The system, not once a day. System will check your behavior, and if you are trying to make a lot of things like buying, selling, and stuff, it's like in web browsing, the same. If you're doing something really fast and repetitive, you will receive the captcha. So it's kind of okay, I think.
Cool. So, but how is that going to work with the weapon presets? So if you have weapon presets and you have to buy 10 things at once because you're building a weapon, wouldn't that be doing that?
No, I think it will be bypassed with something. So it will not be the reason you will. The captchas, we thought about it today. We want to make captchas not like in web browsing, like some words or digits. It will be something cool actually, and rewarding.
Mini game.
Like a meta game?
Like a mini game, yes.
Sweet.
But of course, it will require some work, and like it is what it is. We will need to struggle with them because yes, there is a lot of like profiles who do this. They have just clicking things. So
you know how they have the captchas where it's like select streets or crosswalks or stoplights and stuff? Could we have like a Tarkov version of it, like select the bears or the scavs or like the Tushonka or something? There's like Tarkov versions of the captcha.
Maybe it will be something like this, but it's definitely will be the algorithm that will disallow AI or scripts to actually select the correct answer. For example, you will need to actually be the Tarkov player to know what to answer. So like it could be the thing that will solve the issue. But right now we will just suspend these accounts, suspend them because
just to say too, good job on the hackers as well. Like they're getting banned.
Oh,
every
you know,
day. Oh my god,
yes.
they're getting fucked right now, and it's awesome.
When's the next ban list?
Like ban list, we decided not to do them because
too big.
It's just too big.
Too many.
It just works, you know. It just works. But BattleEye doing great job because many people think that like we have BattleEye in that game, we have BattleEye in this game, and it kind of sucks over there. It could be because you need to work closely. The developer must work closely with the BattleEye developers to actually refine the anti-cheat measures, and we are doing it, and that's why BattleEye working this way. Like they are doing their job.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
How long were you guys working with BattleEye, like to bring it to the state? If that's not a secret.
No, I think it's more than half of the year. I think 7 months.
So it's been planned for a while.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Like we started to integrate them like a long time ago, and there was a lot of work to actually combine the BattleEye with the Unity and C# language because there's very a lot of issues, and it's still being refined and it's still being updated. And all I can say is that they do their job like perfectly, and like I happy that we have BattleEye in our team actually.
It's just definitely less cheaters. Like I haven't seen one in 4 months. Like safely say. Since
the only weird deaths I've had was just like server stuff myself. It's just like when the game breaks. Like
just to mention, you can encounter cheater, but he will be banned. like they can like. There's a lot of cheat. Yeah, there are lots of cheat devs who are trying to make a new software to get into the game, and they have their testers team also. And you can like, there's a low chance that you can actually meet the cheater in the game, but he will be banned for sure.
Is there any way that you guys can create a system where this might be a little complicated too, but how games often in ranked per se games you would lose to a cheater and you'd get your MMR back? Is there something that you could do if you die to a cheater and it has that, you maybe get a little bit of your stuff back, not all through insurance? Like
actually,
what if I could get some money back, man? It's like a little money.
This is a really good idea because we can actually do this, and if you get killed by cheater and you got looted by cheater, you will get these items back via insurance.
That'd be awesome.
Wait, you're saying that's in the game now, or that's
no. It could be done. I just need to know this.
That's awesome idea, dude.
You can do it as Counter-Strike does. So if you report a person and they get banned, then you can get the stuff back. Or because like that's how it works in sort of in Counter-Strike. You get notified that the person you reported got banned.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Or you can receive some compensation, like
something from rubles,
rare
whatever.
keys, some money.
I got you, Chad. I got you.
That's an awesome idea, dude. Honestly.
I read that it's a good idea, but of course everything will require a lot of work because the game itself, it's a kind of big ship with a lot of
big, complex, super complex.
And like he's already flowing, he's already going somewhere, and every single change could break something. I think like for tomorrow we plan a pretty big patch with a lot of fixes.
12.1, we actually went over the patch notes.
Yep.
Yeah, and like it's just fixes, and we already started to make some new content for this period of time before the NY. There will be some new things, but as I said before, we are focusing on stabilization, bug fixing, to make your experience even better, because all the issues being noted, and I have a big list of things that we need to fix, and we already made tasks for them. We applied versions, applied priorities, so we're working on them. So don't worry, everything will be fixed. Not everything, but eventually everything will be fixed, and the game will run really, really well without any strange issues like broken arms or disconnects or crashes. Like
Can
it's
I
still, yeah.
can I propose another idea? I don't know what you guys feel here, Klean and Lupo. I just maxed my hideout actually today,
Mhm.
and I'm wondering that is it a good idea to go in the direction of in-raid items only for hideout, or is that going to take too long?
So they enable to have only in raid items to actually to upgrade your hideout, or what?
Yeah, like to upgrade your workbench and stuff, you have to find it in raid, or will that just be
I
too much
like
work
I
for
like
people?
this. I like this because
I like it too because it'll give people a reason to play interchange later on, or different maps, and actually look for items. But maybe if you do it in rage, you might have to cut the items needed in half or something, because getting freaking 26 hoses. Well, actually, hoses aren't even that hard to get.
You can make them now.
I would say getting the items like in labs, right? The 2 mil, the LEDX, the Vertex. Those items would be kind of hard because like everyone just runs to it. So maybe you might have to rework the system if you do in raid only, because it might get a little ridiculous. But
Well, the
I
loot
think it'd be
economy
cool.
would need to be better. You know, loot
Yeah,
things would need to spawn more.
Yeah, I think if like the loot economy gets changed, then you could do in raid only. But I think hideout in raid only would be.
Personally, for me, I'm honestly actually going to disagree with you on that, because the reason why I like the hideout is because it's affected the barter economy on the flea market extensively.
True.
It's made a lot of items that were once completely worthless on the flea market that wouldn't sell for anything actually cost some money. But speaking of the flea market itself needs an overhaul. The flea market is it's a mess. It is absolutely ruined EFT's progression, in my opinion. It makes it extremely easy to make money, especially at the beginning of wipe, like being able to sell Salewas and morphine for 100k a pop. People will buy them. You know what I mean?
but it's their choice.
I understand this. I understand this, but it's just, to me, it's unnatural. The only reason why they are selling Salewas for this much is because they know the entire community needs Salewas for that one mission that they've done 10 times, and they don't want to go into a raid again and find Salewas because they've done the mission every wipe.
Yeah.
But the flea market still, it's like people are able to catch up so far ahead, because if they manage to just beat everybody by finishing the quests first, they're able to buy stuff from the traders and resell it for a crazy amount of money. In my opinion, the flea market should have like progression. It shouldn't just be open at level 5. It should have more progression depending on how much reputation you get at the traders. So like initially, flea market is only barters. You can request barter and put things up for barter. Once you have like level 2 traders, you've created a name for yourself with among the traders of EFT, you can now start dealing in currency once you're like level 20 and you have like all level 2 traders. And then when you're like level 4 traders, you've maxed them out, you created a very good reputation for yourself, you can now buy their stuff and resell it, creating a sense of progression with the flea market. Because right now it's just level 5, the floodgates open up and it's just a mess. Like it's just all over the place. It's ridiculous.
Pretty decent, yeah.
Like the idea is noticeable, and we will think about it, and maybe I don't know.
It's okay. You can just say no, Nikita. It's okay. I understand.
No, I just can't say no, because the idea to have barter economy, true, but like we spoke it so many times here. It's a good thing, but like we need to actually control the amount of spawn items. That's what I said long time ago, like controllable like based on depletion, economy based on depletion. So we have some kind of pool of items, and we have like items spawning from there, items spawning being bought by traders. So it's a whole pool, and it has its own limits. It means that like at the specific time, eventually the items, some kind of items, will be depleted for the economy, for the loot tables, for the trading lists. They will be totally depleted, and that's why we will have this huge speculation prices and stuff, and it will change the economy. Right now, it's like we've been like items being spawned indefinitely every single raid, and we like it's not economically correct to have some such kind of thing. We need to have some kind of limitation, and that's why people can like find a lot of things and sell them to the people who didn't has an access for these items yet. It's a like I just want to say that it's a pretty complex thing to actually model the live economy thing in the game. Especially you will like in real life, if you have the location called like factory and you have some items over there, 2 or 3 raids and nothing will left, and that's it. Like there will be nothing on this location, and it will be realistic, and people will start like whining and will start like make proposition like bring it back. It's not so cool, and I understand that because there is not so many players, EFT players, that could dedicate themselves into a game so hard and so deep that they actually can change like their real life to the EFT life. They just can't be in the game the whole time, sitting in the game, in the flea market, in the raids, like without any food, without any sleep, just doing Tarkov things. Some like it's kind of unhealthy, first of all, and there is not so many people like the minority of them, and we still need to make the game playable, interesting, and it's not so hard for people who can't play every single day for the whole day. That's why we need some kind of adjustments, some kind of things that will. That's what I said before. To actually play the game and have at least a little of satisfaction, not fun, just satisfaction. Like they are thinking, okay, I need to go to work at 7 a.m. and I have no time to actually hunt these houses, find these houses. I will buy them in the market. I don't give a fuck they cost 7k rubles. I just buy them. And actually he bought these items and he's kind of happy. He goes and go to bed and kind of feels like satisfied. He actually completed the task.
Yeah, you don't want to make the game too hard because like I said earlier when I jumped on, is like we are the minority here. Like there's the 1% is us. Like we're the 1%. Everyone else is sitting here struggling. They don't get to play 8 to 12 hours like us, right? So you definitely do have to find that balance. But I would say a good direction for this game in the future, now that you guys have like a lot of cool stuff, is trying to find a way to rework almost like the tutorial and beginning quest system, because I know so many people like that are brand new to this game and they're just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So like I don't know how you guys can do a better job teaching people how to play the game, but I think that's really, really important. And I don't know how to do it. I'm not proposing any ideas here, just a thought.
I mean, like in many games, people like the games don't really teach you anyway. Like most like end game stuff, you figure out yourself anyway.
Well, yeah,
Like
but the basics, like you should load up and it's your very first time loading up Tarkov, and then there's a button that says tutorial, and in that tutorial, maybe you're in your hideout, and it goes through.
Isn't there
Okay,
a
go to
tutorial?
this. I don't.
No.
know.
I thought there was.
I don't think so.
There's not
Wasn't there like a
tutorial in
basic
EFT.
one? Oh, I thought they added one. My
I
bad.
think they had one that was like, it was more like an informational one. It was like a
Oh,
document.
information. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like an actual like go in and practice. I mean, what I always tell new players, people who are brand new to EFT, is go offline customs, enable scavs on scav war, high population, and go mess around offline and get used to the mechanics, because you got to get used to moving stuff in your inventory, healing, using the guns, learning all the different hotkeys and stuff. And I tell them, go play customs, learn the map, learn the extracts, because you're going to be on that map a lot initially, and just get used to the mechanics, because there's like a lot of like small mechanical skills in EFT that people kind of don't even really initially realize. Like, you know, just being able to heal yourself, being able to move things in your container, playing the inventory game. You know, there's a lot of like small mechanical skills that players need to understand. And that's why for me, I always say, hey, go offline. Maybe an offline tutorial could be a good idea. Just like it goes in, puts them in a raid, shows them like it walks them through every feature of like what you do in a raid, kind of explains it with like little prompts or something.
Okay, let me say, yes, there will be first mission. It's offline mission just to teach you out in the game, just for basics. So there will be this kind of hand holding, as people say in the chat.
Yeah, people are getting mad.
You like there will be some like a bunch of typical things like press C to crouch, press control and mouse wheel. Oh, this is the enemy. Press right mouse button to
Shoot
actually,
it.
actually left mouse button to shoot it. Oh, he's died. Let's loot them. Something like this. It will be not like so detailed and so stupid as like free-to-play shooters or something, but it definitely will be some basics. And the reason for us to make this kind of missions, it's not only about the actual tutorial. It's more like the initial like presentation of world.
Introduction.
Yes. An introduction to EFT. We will start the first mission like it's will be above the ground, like below the ground there will be labs. Right now it's the labs, and above it is ruined headquarters of Terra Group, and we will start from there. It will be the starting point of the whole like story of EFT. And yes, there will be some kind of things like how to move, how to change stance, how to run, how to loot, equip things. So basic tutorial is planned. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Like a lot of people don't even know about offline raids. You got to realize that people that play this game don't necessarily always watch streamers or YouTube or stuff. They might find out about it through it, but then they just jump in, and you can very easily skip the offline raid portion. It's very easy to skip it. You just go next, and it's gone, right?
There's certain like also combinations for like you know different stances for like crouching, and like for the first month I played, I didn't know how to rotate items. So
that's true.
Yeah.
I do it every now and then. Like, how did you just do that? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's magic.
I don't know, just something really simple. I don't know why people are getting upset about this. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Tutorial. No, I'm all for it. I mean, because I mean we're a heavily informational based community. I mean there's so much information about EFT. And you know, the community relies on a lot of the creators, like Pastilli, for example, like all the information, like him grinding through the progression of the game, all that information he gives back to the community. He's not just keeping it for himself. All the information about the hideout quests, where things are, that's all given back to the community in a good way, and because that helps everybody, because we need to know stuff. It's all about information. That's what this game's about. It's all about info.
Yes, like I love the idea. And when I designed EFT, the initial like thoughts about it, first there was the idea that you will actually have to get the information about the game, learn the game, and have this tactical advantage. So the knowledge is the power, and it's not like yeah. So that's why we like emphasize the idea to actually talk with people, to communicate more, to share thoughts, to share like weapon presses, to share tactical things, to share like hidden stashes locations on the location. So we can, it's the kind of second mission for us to actually take the player base, divide it, and
try and
Make
put
it
them
all
together.
Put
Well,
them
that's
together, yeah.
I love EFT because, like, in a lot of games that do this, is it where it just throws you in. It kind of shows you the basics, like this is what you can do, figure out the rest. And I love games like that. I don't like games that are very handholdy. I know every time you guys update the game, there's always things that you don't put on the patch notes that are in the game, and you leave it up to the players to discover these things. And some people get upset; they don't like that. But me, I see it as a good thing because it's really exciting to like discover these things, like the packages that we get from like Fence from extracting as a scab. You can get rare keys, and people are like, "Whoa, what? Check out, guys! I just got marked key or whatever from extracting as a scab," and like people are like, "Whoa, no way!" And then it starts spreading. All that information starts spreading, and it's really cool. I honestly, I love that about this game and the community.
Yeah, that's what was meant to be. We also, I personally love the idea to have the element of surprise too. That's why I don't want to tell everything changed in the game. Right now, like last several days, there were a lot of changes in the game, like many things in trading, barters, like crafting schemes. It represents the dynamic world of EFT. Actually, I want everything that I did in the game last several days. I want to call it like an automatic way. Like it will be some kind of AI reactions to something. So the game will like the inner like from the inner perspective, like the backend stuff and like trading stuff will be controllable by some kind of AI that will give you the idea of dynamic and world that can change in many ways. That's like
barters changing on the traders, like all of a
yes.
sudden the armor trade just changes all of randomly.
Yeah, and of course people usually get used to something that they are was like they played the the pattern, like they played the game in the same way over and over again, and they see that something that they used that they counted as tactical advantage for them changed, and they are like angry and they trying to get the answers why devs did that. They're stupid, they're shit, and many other like polite words. But it's a representation, like it's like a testing thing to give you the idea that everything can be changed. Yes, it's me most of all, but sometimes especially later I think it will be some like machine reaction, as I can say it. Like it will be changed by some kind of AI, and you must be ready for this. Because when, for example, I'm going to the admin page and set houses spawn 0%. You can imagine what will change.
Yeah,
and there will be like madness. People at first people will not understand what's going on.
People would be making hoses in their bathroom like crazy.
Yes.
They'd be crafting hoses like fucking, there'd be a black hose market all of a sudden. And then the parts for the hoses would go up in price, like wires, blue tape, and the other tubes that are required for this.
I personally like really happy, and that the game itself, it's kind of hardcore, brutal simulation kind of shooter with lots of things, and I love RPGs, and I love the like EVE Online type of games, and I love how the looting part with these items, with these prices on flea market works. Like it's important. It feels important for people. Like the wire's gone up to the 40K. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Like the virtual item, like, and it's cool because somebody can say, "Man, this is stupid. Yeah, stupid. The game, stupid shit. Go for a walk." For me, it's like, yes, it's what I wanted. Like people actually dive into the game more, and some things that like don't feel important at the start.
Stonks.
Yeah, they're important now, and this is so cool actually, and it must be at least enjoyable in terms of satisfaction. it's not like I don't want to say fun. Like EFT is for fun. You can have fun. You can
Overcoming the challenges is what is fun for Tarkov. It's overcoming difficult obstacles, which is exciting about EFT.
For me, like the win-win scenario is the player will get dissatisfaction. He will be tired. He will be like sweating. But yes, I did it, and I don't know. I think that kind of emotions are pretty good if you can actually get them from a game.
This is why this is why the secured container should change, so that looting becomes more exciting.
Okay.
Just gonna spin that in there, okay?
Just throwing it out there, dude.
Just no big deal, dude. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Yo, question. It'll probably maybe get a lot of hate, but hunters with M61, is there is this like a meme for a while?
I changed that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, there were a thing that every hunter was spawned with the best ammo available.
It mitigated armor completely. It doesn't matter what you have.
Dead.
I changed.
Okay. But now,
Молодец. Спасибо, Nikita.
Some people then brought up some people brought up an issue that if you put M80s in there, then it will one tap people that have level 4 and less. So if there is a chance you can maybe make ammo that's like
a civilian ammo. Everything is being planned.
Everything is planned.
I can even tell you what actual ammo will be. Just a second. Okay, 308 FMG. It's a civilian round produced by Barnaul machine plant, Russian plant. 38 Winchester TPZ SP. It's SP round. It's also civilian. It will be cheap and not so effective.
It's like a sport hunting hollow.
So is
Is
that what you showed?
So what?
Sorry,
what?
there's like a picture of the gun you showed on Instagram.
No. I was telling that it's a 3.660 km weapon, another weapon.
Oh, another 209.
Woo! Such a good gun.
And the last edition 308 Winchester Norma Nosler Petition. It's like a fancy like a hunting round. It's also civilian. So of course, why does Scav have actual military grade ammunition in Russian civilian hunting rifle? It's not like real, and we will make some.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for real.
I don't. You don't even understand.
The hunter scares the shit out of me. I wish that thing had like 280 recoil and like 10 ergonomics. Honestly, I hate that gun.
I increased. You like, guys. I do things.
He does things.
Yeah, and I actually upped the recoil on Hunter.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. So Hunter refers to assault rifle skill in the game, and the assault rifle skill, as like everybody knows, is basically what gives 0 recoil. Hence, why Hunter has literally no recoil compared to M1A.
So it's not classified as a DMR?
No, it's classified as an assault rifle. That's why you have no recoil on it.
Oh,
yeah.
Sure?
Yeah,
Sure?
I'm fairly positive that it's classified as an assault rifle skill. I don't know if it's like at the top, you know how at the top of when you inspect the weapon, it may say DMR or whatever the hell. But it relates. Yeah, but it relates to assault rifle skill. That's why it has so less recoil. Oh, and another point. VSS and Val, 2 identical pretty much weapons. VSS is a DMR in the game, Val is the assault rifle. And Val has no recoil, VSS has a lot of recoil just because of one skill. But they're technically identical.
Okay.
I figured it out very long time ago when you made changes. I couldn't figure why a VSS has way more recoil than a Val. It just never made sense until last wipe. People figured out that assault rifle is the skill that basically makes it recoil like non-existent.
Interesting.
Even though you are right, technically the VSS is classified as a DMR because of the stock. Even though I know what you're saying, and
No,
like,
no, I get it,
they're the same. They're the same exact gun. I mean, they should get the same benefits.
Okay.
Maybe both Val and VSS both would classify both towards DMR and assault rifle.
Well, no,
Just be
assault
both.
like
Why not be
Val
both?
is an assault rifle because that's like even in the name.
Yeah.
Like VSS is Sniperska Винтовка Винторез. So sniper rifle Ventores. And the Val, I don't remember how it goes, but it's an assault carbine, whatever. So they're technically in Russia, they're classified as a sniper rifle and an assault carbine. But like they're technically identical in their construction, whatever. And from what I've a bunch
Mechanics.
of documentaries that I've watched, VSS is a more like precise weapon or more for precision, and Vals are like not like they're made from VSSs that weren't really like that made it to the batch like whatever.
Typing
You know?
in the code right
Okay.
now. He's fixing it.
Okay, I got it. I noted this. We will actually talk about this more because yes, like in real life, in real weaponry, you can convert your carbine to DMR. You can convert your DMR to sniper rifle. Actually, if you even have a M4, you can just cut the buffer tube and make your weapon single load bolt action rifle. So it will be kind of classed as sniper rifle. I think yes, there must be some changes in the system because especially with the VSS and the Ventores thing, because they are actually the same. They are the same, and maybe we should change this somehow to not to have this like one weapon has one recoil and the same weapon just with wooden stock and furniture will have another recoil, less or more. So yeah.
Another thing about VSS and then Vals, the OKP7 is zeroed for 100 minimum, and like you have to always aim below the head to hit the headshot. Is there a chance we can make like zeroed at 50? So like if you're close quarters, you have to like
25
you're aiming
meter
at the head
zero
and,
increments.
yeah,
Should
like
be
you're
25.
aiming at the head, you're shooting the head because it's been in the game for like 2 years now. And
It's just for OKP7.
All optics. It's by 50.
I think it's all optic. I'm fairly
Mhm.
sure it's all optics. Even if you
Pretty
put a PK06 on the B3 combo mount or the anything, it
So-
always aims. So you aim lower to hit higher. So you
So
aim
it's-
below the head.
It's 100 or 50 meters.
It's 0 to 100. I think default is 100, and you cannot
Uh-huh.
make it lower.
Okay.
I mean, I think it'd be great if all scopes across the board could be zeroed at 25 meter increments, start at 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, and let it go all the way up to like 300 or whatever the max is.
You know, I've never even zeroed.
I don't zero
I just-
either. I don't either.
I just aim higher when I go
the same.
further. And it works.
I use the zeroing function, Nikita. Don't worry.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Another question.
Take a deep breath. You know,
If you'll,
drink some water.
they said it will be quick Q&A. 40 minutes max.
Dima set you up to this, didn't
people would
he?
be happy.
I know. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm sitting here in the office, actually.
Oh, a Tactica Tula mount for a VSS and a Val on top.
No way.
RS, just wait till RS Regulate comes in. Then you'll be happy. RS Regulate will come in eventually.
Okay. Like what's on your mind?
Shroud, Lupo, what are you guys thinking right now?
I don't know. So I joined a little late, so I don't know if you
We
guys
talked
already
about
it.
hatchlings. That's all we really talked about at the beginning, and then when you showed up as near the tail end of that, that's pretty much it.
Okay. I pretty much want to ask a question, Nikita, being what is the next step? Where's the direction of the game going? Like right now that we have the is it going to be lighting changes on different maps, reworking different maps, main quest line?
Mhm.
Curious what's happening these next past 3 months or
Okay, so right now we are like we are fixing the game right now, and we are started to actually draft and continue to work on Streets of Tarkov location. And I must say that it will be even bigger in terms of details, in terms of searchable areas and overall quality. Like every single map, we try to raise the bar. And I must say that the Streets of Tarkov will be the highest point. That's why we need to think about it, how to do it properly, and not in 9 months as it was with the military base. And I think the 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 locations. I think we will make intermediate locations, just something in between, just to make sure that we will have some new location, not in long term. And this is what about like new locations. All location will be reworked. We will add new types of exits. We want to add train to other locations, and we actually want to implement the thing that you will actually have to enter specific locations through
Another raid. So like customs, military base, back to customs, then stash, or like Streets of Tarkov, labs, back to streets, then the stash.
For example, you will exfil with the train from the military base, and you will spawn on the like lighthouse location, for example, where the train stopped and goes further. So we want to have such kind of thing, like the military base checkpoint. As you know, the key for it is actually the entrance to the military base. So they to actually have the idea to infiltrate the location through other location, kind of cool, I think. Especially
like
the idea to have the entrance to the labs on the Streets of Tarkov, and this is it. You will not be able to enter the labs via lobby, for example.
So wouldn't this just increase raid times? Like
2 hours raid.
like 2 hour raid, and then
well, of course. The raid times.
I imagine it'd be a new instance. Wouldn't it just be a new instance? Like you go in customs, and it's 40 minutes, and then you go to.
If you want to get a lot done, it might be hard for like.
It could be the increased time of raid. Maybe we can even implement the thing that you can late spawn, but this late spawn will not be late spawn as right now. It will be more like the rotation of players. So some of them are already on other locations, and like waves. Yes. So this is what we want to actually implement and test. I don't know when it will be. So the idea, we want to optimize, fix, and add new. We want to expand customs. Actually, add the big amount of factory. Connecting.
More like close
a
quarters.
southern expansion. That'll be cool.
Connecting the tanks and the old gas station.
That would be awesome. That would be super cool.
So I have like a. Okay, go.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Okay, so for the idea of map going between maps, so like the problem I think a lot of people will find is like stashing their loot. So just like as an idea, I guess before you go from customs to military base, there's like a bunch of scavs you can basically give your gear to. They'll stash it for you for whatever amount of money.
I understand. We thought about it. We want to use the vehicle exfils as the items, like
like drop your loot off, pay them, they drive away, it secures it, you get it back in insurance.
Yeah, you pay 3,000 rubles and you can drop your loot.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually, I mean, for me, I think one of the things that I would personally like to see sooner than later is just more extracts on every map. Like interchange is a big one. Factory, just more extractions, because people complain about extract camping every day, and the only reason it's a thing is because on interchange there's one extract on each side.
Yes, we will add more. We will add more extracts. We will add 2 extracts on interchange, and this actually will be soon enough. It will not be like after
Sweet.
Several months or something. We want to add new extracts interchange, new scav extracts on military base, and so on. Add more scavs on shoreline. And also add like the new exfils that we didn't make in time, like exfil with the flare launcher and many other things that we wanted to do. So yes, we want to add new lighting. We want to add new like optimization things that we add in military base. For example, if we did military base in terms of old pipeline of location production, for example, if we did military base as we did customs, for example, the military base like would have so low FPS, like maybe 5 or 10 maximum. Yes, that's why like the military base is huge location, and it's kind of like broke every boundary that we have in Unity, and we implemented there a lot of cool features that we can implement on other locations.
Like underground locations, is that one of them?
Oh yeah. I forgot to say there will be addition to military base, a pretty big, pretty big piece of underground tunnels and stuff below the location, like the addition.
Oh,
More to search. Yeah, and of course, people. I will not read the chat. And I know that many people want to actually optimize to military base to be optimized more, and that's what we do.
it's planned. Of course, to be assumed.
Yes.
I guess.
So that's what about the location. Also, there will be a randomized loot location. It means that it will not be 3 points of key cards on the whole location. It will be 40 or 50 points of them.
Thank you.
They will be randomized. The idea to have randomized pools is also feels more realistic than right now. Also, there will be more dynamic loot container objects. For example, right now we all know every single secret stash container. We know the position of it and the locations. They will have a chance to actually show to be there on the location.
Spawn in different areas. I mean, encouraging more exploration in general, I think, is huge, because I've always hated knowing, like, if I want this key, I have to go to the same spot and check and see if it's there. Okay, it's not there. I'll come back next time. I'd just prefer to just find it anywhere, just anywhere. It could just be here or over there on that shelf or something.
Anything to keep your eyes moving, because like right now, the way of the game is you only look at spots where you know there's loot. But if you're walking through a building, now your eyes are moving to the shelves. They're moving to just different things that you wouldn't normally look at. And that's really important, because that might be like life or death. Someone could be like right in front of you, but you're looking at the shelf on the right. So now it'll like you can play a little differently, right? You'd have to clear that whole area, then you can look at the shelves, rather than trying to do both at the same time and having a risk. It just creates more opportunity to play the game a little differently. So I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, that's what we want to achieve too. Also, my personal things that I want to make as soon as possible and introduce in the game. It's storyline quests, because they are really cool. They are story enriched with lots of cool features too, and it's pretty hard to implement. That's why we will do them, I think, not so fast, because I know you all love the Jaeger's quests.
It's so
they
fun.
are perfect.
Just shake and shoot this head, man. That's awesome.
I always wanted to hard gate achievements in the game. Like, you must do
5
it.
kills with a Thremor.
Yes. The storyline quests, they are like storyline quests. Actually, just for you to understand the idea, we want to make single player experienced and look and feel quests in the multiplayer dynamic game with lots of shooting. without quick save.
I like the shooting part.
So it is a pretty hard task for us to do because I don't know what a game to mention that the game actually has this kind of quests. Like it's MMO-ish multiplayer game with the storyline quests. It like even we wanted to add some dialogues. Even I don't know if we actually can, because I know there is a Destiny there where we have some kind of storyline and stuff, and you and your friends are standing and something is going on. So we want to have this kind of quests. We want to have them like with the feel of cooperation with other players who are completing this quest also, and we want them to be like with this element of surprise. That's why we will not say you and show you and tell you about them before we will release them.
Cool.
And
I like
yes,
secrets and surprises. They're awesome.
yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So this is about the storyline quest. They will disclose the information about who is U2nd Beers, what's in Tarkov, who is Terror Group, what's the Blue Fire, who is the cultists.
Yeah, the cultists are spooky.
Yeah, what's about the scavs actually, and who the hell are raiders and stuff. So these quests they will be for the people who actually want to have this kind of storyline experience, storyline knowledge, and feel of the game. And I personally really want to do them because I really like and love the idea to have some storyline enriched like quests in the game, like in any other game too. And the second thing that I want to be implemented so strong is the customizable plate carriers and rigs. So we will be able to actually customize and build a set of your rig, like select pouches, position them, and actually have your rig that will fit you well. You will save this preset and stuff. So it will be really cool for me. Change armor plates and like armor compensation layers and stuff. Some technical things that I always love in EFT. Not
Will
like
you also
about
do like
weapons.
advanced hit zones for body armor, like you have
Yes,
helmets? So like you
yes,
could hit under the armpit and ignore armor.
Yes, that's why you will need to actually to control the availability of like side armor and types of side armor. So it will be like a knowledge we all need to be like achieved to be learned. But it's not meant that all the rigs and all the armor will be gone, because it's lots of things. They will be just like this, like ready to use, and the other things will be customizable, and for the lovers, for the gear and weapon enthusiasts who wants to know more and actually feel something, and model some unit or something. It could be cool. And also there will be a huge addition to the game, and it will be a game changer. It's malfunctions, it's weapon gems,
I can't wait.
durability of silencers, durability of weapon mods, and it's all will be like
Develop together. Like you'll add these features together. You'll add these features at the same time.
Yes, so it will be heat overheating, durability factors which influences on gems, on like different kind of malfunctions, and this
like the heat shields on snipers working.
Yes, they will.
Because I was actually just at the range yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was shooting my sniper. I was zeroing it, and as I was shooting, I saw the heat waves, and I was noticing. I was like, okay, it's getting hot, and so I had to let it sit for a bit because I couldn't get a clear sight picture because of the heat waves. It was actually really cool. It was my first time actually seeing that in real life.
Yes, this is the issue, especially when you're starting to shoot on the real fire range more often. You see so many things that you can change. in the game if you can't change in the game. For me, like, it's a huge amount of information, like the real hardcore stuff that could be implemented in the game, and the game will become hell actually for players, like pure hell. So many specific features on the weapon. For example, there is a dust cover on the AKs, and there was TT 10000. This like thingy that magically were put on the dust cover. We removed that. We removed it because it's not realistic actually. So
Just like
disassemble
glue it
it.
on, put some
Yeah.
blue tape on there or something.
That's why we added three new dust covers with the rails on them. And you know that in real life this kind of mount is pretty bad because the dust cover itself, like, it rattles. It's not precise. When you
Zenit makes the best ones because they attach to the front handguard.
Yes,
That's
and
why
the
Zenit's
PDC
really good.
and then Fab Defense PDC is also do because it has this kind of thing that will like allow to make it steady.
Like a
It's
lock.
like a lock, round lock, on the side of it.
It's like a lever, like a little thing.
Yeah. I have this actual cover, and yes, it doesn't rattle, and and your aim and your accuracy is pretty high enough to actually to hit the target.
Mhm.
But
And I
yeah.
I just wanted to, before we disappear off this topic, the malfunction system.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be something that, if you like treat your weapon with care, as in like you go in the hideout, you clean it before a raid, and you do all that, there's a much less chance of malfunction? Because I can't imagine it being an RNG thing where you're in a fight and there's no repair, there's no cleaning,
Yeah.
and then you're shooting at a guy that has a pistol, and all of a sudden your gun jams just for fun. So I think so long as you could spend time and like work with the gun so that you can pretty much guarantee no jam in your raid, I think that's really necessary,
Yeah.
or else it's going to be really annoying.
Of
You gotta
course,
have a
of
way to mitigate
course.
it.
Yeah, you will be able to actually care your gun properly, and it's not only this because for example, the AK, you can shoot like 15,000 rounds from it, and it will be okay. That's a durability of Russian weaponry, and
Ammo
you
fails
must
more than the gun.
yes, ammo will fail, and the magazine could like could fail too because different
Like the 60
magazine-
rounders in those M4s,
Yeah,
those have
yeah.
feeding issues in real life.
Yeah, they have feeding issues, and you will need to actually to select the proper magazine for your weapon. The game will become more difficult, but if you know the drills and you have a time and you will have and you prepare your weapon properly before the raid, you will be ready to fight, and
It'll be okay.
you're okay to fight because like the thing is that it could be overheated if you are like shooting bursts. It could be overheated and you will receive the malfunction because the higher the overheat factor will be, there will be more chance to actually jam your weapon with the brass or something. So
Mhm.
you will need to actually control your spray, not spray and pray, spray and I don't know.
Just like let
spray.
off the mat and let off the trigger a bit, just like because you'll be shooting, you'll be like click, and your guy will have to rack the gun. Because I remember when weapon malfunctions were back in the alpha, like version 2 or 3, like you guys got rid of them around then, really early on. It was really fun because the weapon mastery actually would take effect, because the higher your mastery, the faster you would correct the malfunction. So you'd click on your AK because you just get a misfire and your character would just rack the slide real quick and you go back to fighting. It really didn't take that long, and it was just a inhibit in the firefight. You were just like, oh shit, click, and you back up, your character racks the bolt, and then you're back to fighting. It's not like, oh shit, like fucking like racking around and fucking with the gun. It was a really quick
But
process.
you can imagine the emotions you will get when you pick up the weapon from the guy who didn't properly care about his weapon, and you will receive jams and malfunctions. and it could lead to interesting uh, clips, you know.
People gonna get mad as fuck because they're gonna
Oh yeah.
click on a scab and then they're
I
gonna get
just, like-
shot in the face.
I'm
And
just trying to think, like, the worry is like you got to realize that as long, I mean, there's a place where you build the system and it works really, really well, but you just got to be really, really careful with making, you got to make sure, like, when it comes out, like, you have the right steps to make sure your gun doesn't jam, because it will piss a lot of people
Yeah.
off.
Oh yeah.
Like, people like, this game is going to keep going in the direction where it gets harder and harder and harder, and I know that's the point, but like we said before, the balance is really important, because if it gets too tedious and it becomes like a chore, like, people only have a couple hours per day. So that's why I was talking about when you said that you wanted to go from one raid to another raid and then back to the other raid. Like, while
Mhm.
that sounds fun for us, I would love that. But some people only have 2 hours a day. They're going to play for 2 hours. They're going to do that one raid, only one raid, and they
Mhm.
might die. And then that's
Well,
it. That's all the
I
fun
mean,
they have, you know?
we don't use every single second of every raid though. In a situation like that, if they're like, I want to run labs in order to get to that, I have to go through a military base. Then they queue into queue reserve, and they
Mhm.
run to the lab entrance, and then they get in labs and they do labs. I think the idea is putting those things behind a wall of like you have to do a little more work to get to that super high loot payoff, that kind of thing. I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, if you're trying to utilize the entire 2 hours, if you're trying to take advantage of like everything that's in the raid when you do it, it's gonna be difficult for the average player. We'll be able to use the full 2 hours in a single raid to go through everything if we really wanted to. But
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but you could probably just beeline to it, right?
the ultimate idea for EFT is to actually have all the players like you, like the people who are dedicated so much they will actually do raids like in real life, 8 hour raid, 10 hour raid, or single raid, if the game will work perfect, of course. And I know that's impossible to do because then the game will be playable for 1% of players. Even the game will be like on hype, as I can say. It still will not be the game for everybody. And the game for everybody, not for everybody, I mean that it will be for so like the minority, like several like hundreds thousand people who will be happy to play EFT like in real life. Like they will like eat, they will prepare, they will like be prepared to play EFT. What fun! What actual pleasure! What actual? It will be just a alternate reality for them. And I don't know. I really don't want to be the game like this because the perfect balance, it's a playable balance. And
realistic as playable.
yes, and it needs to be controllable. It needs to be not so super hard because of course you can do the game that can like get all the features all together, be super hard. Like you press Q and do a left step. You press E, do a right step with your leg. And you also need to press space to actually breathe. And it will be too extreme. But of course, it will be like lovers, but there will be a lot of haters too. And
Oh yeah.
we want to make something balanced, and balanced not in terms of casualty or something. We want to be like, people must understand that the game is hard, it's rewarding, and they will definitely for sure will get the emotions that everybody is talking about. And it could be pain, anger, happiness, enjoyment, and but it will be the emotions that
We
will be
have to
unique.
feel bad days to appreciate the good ones, Nikita. Gotta have some sadness with some love in life, you know?
Yes, and all this beautiful idea that we want to achieve, it's all wrapped up with the technical thing, because the
Yeah.
game must run well, no disconnects, no lags, no distance,
Mostly.
no freezes. This is the pretty hard That's the most hard thing in the game development, especially.
The only thing that drives me nuts in
EFT.
Tarkov is when I shoot a scav in the head and he keeps running. That's really the only thing that makes me upset in EFT, honestly.
Maybe you didn't hit him in the head,
Okay, dude.
Yeah, maybe your aim is trash. Clean.
Yeah, you know, you guys are right. I'm just garbage, just trash, dude.
No,
That's
of
right.
course. I must say that 0.12 like shifted in a good way. Even I can tell this because usually I'm pretty pessimistic about everything, but I see that the game shifted in a good direction. And with the 10 clips of people mm, pointing on the hit detection or lags, only one clip is definitely about lags or these things. Every other clips is about shit aim or something. It's true. It's true.
Saying how it is, I like it.
Yeah, there it
I
is.
you know
I mean,
I,
that's
yeah.
sorry. That's something like no matter what, no matter the game that you play or make. I mean, like that's just part of online gaming, and I don't think
Yeah.
there's going to be a fix for that anytime soon. So like you hit
Yes.
someone in the head and multiple, like that's just the way it goes. Servers, all
Yes.
it's too complicated. You just
The game could be perfect, in terms of networking. It could be perfect, literally perfect, like no latency at all. But you live here and the servers are over there, and somewhere in between there is a rat on a cable, and some crazy
True.
shit is going on, or a drunk engineer on a data center in Germany spilled borscht or
Borscht.
something on the
Mein Borscht.
networking hardware. So it could be anything, and even if it will be perfect, and we will have a certificate or something, the license of perfectness, like the game is perfect. I'm the president of the world, telling that the EFT is now officially perfect game. So you go fuck yourself. The game is perfect.
You the bad game, fine. Shut the hell up.
And still, some kind of journalist of Wall Street Journal or something will be pressing spacebar and showing people, this is lag. This is like, you see, it's a delay. The game is shit. It will be this way. Like it's not about the actual production. It's not about the technical things in the game. It's more like infrastructure, world infrastructure, like global DDoSes and things. So yeah, it's not. It will not be perfect, guys. But we will do everything that we can.
So speaking about the perfect game, Shroud and Lupo, either one of you, what do you guys feel EFT needs the most right now? Like what kind of change?
Audio. I don't like hearing footsteps through Interchange's giant garage.
Vertical
above
audio is
me.
a pretty big issue.
I think that's
one of the
game
things.
changing.
Yeah, and I've seen it in other games. I think the one of the things that comes to mind is like hearing a pitch change. Like if it's a higher pitch sound than normal, it's above you. If it's a lower pitch sound than normal, it's below you. But like there's a ton of different ways obviously you can do it. But are there intended audio changes coming anytime soon? I know people in my chat have been asking repeatedly.
that we actually done a lot of things to this. We actually occluded the verticality, like the layers of floors and ceilings in the interchange. So I think maybe it's bugged, but we can't actually hear the steps above or below in interchange. So we need to check this. Also, there is a thing called Steam Audio, and we plan to add it as quickly as possible. So the next page will be with the Steam Audio, and the Steam Audio is an audio propagation engine that will allow us to actually physically simulate the actual sound propagation in the rooms, like reflections or sound reflection and stuff.
Will advanced suppressor sounds come, like subsonic, supersonic ammo?
It's another feature, like subsonics and advanced suppressors will be in the whole feature together too, and it's also planned for the next working phase. Yeah. So of course there will be VoIP, there will be Compass, there will be more customization options.
Do you have time frames for any of that stuff? Like, when should we expect to see Steam Audio added? When should we expect VoIP?
I think the VoIP and Steam Audio will be in the same patch. So I know people want to make it faster, that release Steam Audio faster, but I think these two features are linked together, and we need to actually make it in the one single patch. So the plan is to release it in the next big update. And as I said before, we will not do it like we did with 0.12. It was such a long wait. So
It was a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, it was worth the wait, though. I'll just say that. It was worth the wait. 0.12, it's phenomenal. Like, it's honestly, it's the best state EFT's ever been. And it really just kind of goes to show where the game is going as well.
And I don't want to lose the feeling. I don't want to lose the, like, I don't want to lose the, no, not the hype, the interest, like the interest of people. Not only you, people who love to play EFT and experience in EFT. I want to, like, to new people to actually feel what's EFT is about, and that's what are also linked to topics that we discussed earlier: hatchlings, tutorials, and other things that will bring new players in and keep them steady in the game for a period of time. And that's why I'm nervous about it, and that's why the production of EFT is always a struggle, even if you're trying to make the game, the patch, to actually dying to make this patch, release this patch, and think, okay, there must be a relief. No relief at all, because they think I need to hold this. Now
you want to keep momentum.
Yes, now we need to hold this, keep it steady, and continue to make the game best, to make the game noticeable, to make the game like classic in some period of time. That's the idea. So we want to make the game like to be the I don't know.
We got Warren right here. Stand by.
Короче, как сказать, что хотим сделать игру. Блин, как сказать-то по-русски? Да ёкарный вопрос.
По-русски. Я наигрываю по-русски.
Короче, я забыл. Я забыл, что сказать.
Nice.
I forgot what I wanted to say. So
he lost his train of thought.
Yeah. It was so hard for me to tell it in English, and when I switched to Russian, it was even harder. So it was something, flowing over there, like in the clouds. So I think it's 2 hours already.
Yeah.
It has been 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
I want to play some Tarkov.
Sorry,
It's crazy late for you, right?
God damn it! I had like a big list of a bunch of things. It's
Oh boy.
not like legit. It's just questions and concerns that people like are wondering about, and maybe if I can quickly run down through them.
Okay.
If you have time, if you don't, okay. So, alarm sound on military base, super fucking loud.
It's crazy
I don't
loud.
know. It's crazy loud, especially terrible for like.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for stream.
Okay,
but
take those
for
contacts off.
Since you just said that, I saw a bunch of people saying this in chat, and I agree. Hideout is so loud.
It
doesn't matter what you're talking
They're adding a
Okay,
volume slider next
okay.
patch tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
There is a bug with the laser. I showed that to Shroud. So if you're using a laser, your hip fire, whatever, point fire improves. If you switch to laser to not like an actual laser, but an IR laser, a flashlight, the benefit still says.
Yeah.
I think maybe people showed you. I showed that multiple times on stream. It's absolutely insane. The difference between no laser and laser, it's crazy.
Okay.
Valde sense and different scope sense. I don't know if that was already addressed.
My chat was
people
asking about too.
Yeah, like 1x and 6x. It's like completely different sensitivities, and people absolutely go nuts about it. So when you're in a 1x state, you you need insane DPI, insane sensitivity to actually move.
Yeah. It's also noted, and there will be some kind of thing that will allow you to have this smooth
Independent
transition.
sensitivity.
Yeah, and like independent, like not
Mhm.
independent, like it will dependent. Like the sensitivity will be dependent on your magnification. Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audio and military base. I know you just talked about audio, but I don't know if that's like maybe this is fixable with this current engine as well. But like on certain levels where there's bunkers, you know, where the raiders spawn in the garage, you
Mhm.
can actually hear them right in front of you, and that's
Yeah,
it's just
they'll talk. You can hear
it's
their
so
voices.
yeah they're talking,
Yeah.
and it sounds like they're in front of you.
Okay.
So
Is
that's
that
like
only
really
is that only on reserve that you?
it's only on reserve that I've noticed where raiders like they're spawning below you and
Yeah.
they're footstepping and they're talking right in front of you
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
thinking they're like behind you.
That
I get that a lot in
happened
the
the other
train
day.
yard.
I was
Oh,
playing with
the
Klean
same
and
thing
trainer.
on dorms. Also on dorms and customs, the same thing. If you're
I
right
think
above the person,
something is broken. I think.
yeah, if you're right above the
Something's
person,
broken.
if you're right above the person on dorms, maybe it's also in different like locations where it's directly above, but I have never noticed it on factory, so I think it's only in certain maps, certain places on customs and dorms. The person can be like below you, but because they're right below you, you hear them in front of you or
Sounds
behind
like
you,
they're in the
like
same room.
yeah,
Oh,
like
so
they're
that's what I
next to you.
heard.
Yes,
Okay,
like
yeah,
they're
I've been
next to
camping
you, and it's
dorms like a lot
yes,
yesterday.
it's
You're right. You're right.
yes,
It is bugged
it's
for sure.
it is absolutely just it's a big thing. Sometimes you just it makes you misplay a lot.
Okay,
Mhm.
I wasn't going crazy.
Shoreline flares is where they removed purposefully or not because the
They
extractions work without
they bugged. They bugged. Also,
they're bugged. Okay,
the
so
fla-
people are
the
just
f- the
wondering.
f- the flashlight effect also bugged.
Okay.
What flashlight effect?
When you have somebody pointing at you, flashlight pointing at
Oh,
you, there is no flash blinding you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my chat talked about that too. We used to run stupid meme
okay.
guns. We'd have like a shotgun with like 5 flashlights on it, and it would look like the sun. And it doesn't. That got changed. Which it's
Mhm.
funny that actually could be crazy powerful against other players. So they literally can't see shit when you point it at them. So
Wait,
Okay.
so you're
Flashlight
saying
is
you
for
can't
aggression.
you can't do the flashlight
it's not
thing
as
like
bright
that?
as it used to be. It got dialed.
Yes,
way.
we will
Yes.
we will
Mhm.
fix we will fix it.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Um,
Speaking of dorms of Shoreline, real quick, is there a chance that we could get more scavs at dorms and at Shoreline? Because I feel like that would actually mitigate hatchling runs a lot on those maps. Because if there's a scav there just hanging out inside with a shotgun, sees a hatchling, he's probably gonna get shot at and die.
and
Like,
there's
can we
just
get?
not a lot of them.
Yeah, there's
Like,
there's just
especially
not a lot
Oh,
of
you know,
action there.
barely.
I have an idea to mitigate the hatchling problem. We could actually to put this thing into Scav AI. They will hear
Target
and see.
hatchlings.
They will hear and see hatchlings much more.
Yes, tag and curse them when
bigger
they spawn in the
distances.
raid. Tag and curse them.
Oh,
Like the scavs just know where they are. They smell the weakness
Like they will shoot. They will shoot hatchlings on site first.
before PMCs.
Yeah,
Right,
that's a real thing actually.
I like
write it
that.
down.
Well, yeah, if you see a dude with a knife, you're like, oh, this fucking idiot brought a knife to a gunfight. I'm gonna go beat him up with my shotgun. You know, of course.
Everyone in chat's like, yes, do it.
Yeah.
Genius.
But I would really like to see more scavs at dorms and at Shoreline Resort, because every time I go to
Okay.
those locations, there's none of them. It's very empty.
It's not it too. It's not it too.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so next is some people said, you know how you do a mag check? Can you do maybe if you double tap the mag check, or let's say you check the mag, and at the same time you can confirm to change the magazine. So
Mhm.
because the way it works right now is you check the mag, he places back it in, and then you have to reload. So what if you
Mhm.
check it, he sees it's at low ammunition, and you reload it right after that, like a confirmation thing. Same
Yes.
with double tapping
It's
R.
it,
You know, you double
it's
tap R, it does the reload.
I get it. It's also noted. It's planned actually.
It's been requested for a long time.
Another
So hard
probably
to do.
highly requested is maybe switching to pistols faster. Kind of
Yes.
Oh,
big
yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Also, if you double tap, let's say, so I have my pistol bound at 3 instead of 1, like if you double tap 3, what it will do is basically like a mag thing. It will drop the gun and take the pistol faster. It will make
It's
sense.
Nobody
yes,
drops their
yes.
gun in a firefight.
Well, they just
like
add a sling to a rifle.
yes,
Yeah, you got a sling.
So
Well, yeah,
nobody
whatever.
throws
the
their gun on
idea-
the ground. Nobody does that.
The idea is the gun is slinging itself already. So there will be an animation. You will actually double tap your pistol. He will just drop the weapon in and put up his gun, and the gun will drop on the sling on your thigh or something like this. Like
Yeah, well, that the idea, like you get the point. Just like faster, maybe like animation
Yes,
instead of it
yes.
putting on your back or whatever. T7, I don't know if it was addressed. Like the thermal, like people keep asking what the hell's going on with it. Like I'm guessing you guys want to remove it so people can't put in a gamma or something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the thing.
Mhm.
What does the accuracy stat mean in the game? Like I've just been wondering it for a long time. Like, is it accuracy regarding point fire? Because I don't think it's regarding like when you're aiming down the
Это,
sights.
это, короче, угол по факту. Это угол. Это угловые минуты. То есть это, блин.
So
вот
it's
он, это,
Блин.
MOE, или как-то не MOE, как-то, господи. Да,
Is it the-
MOE, короче. Это, скажи как-нибудь там, угловые минуты, я не знаю, как сказать. Как-то
Угловые
angular
минуты.
minutes.
Oh, you're talking about MOE, shots on target, like the
Yes,
accuracy
yes,
at which
yes.
the shots
That's
will hit the same
and-
spot.
It's an angular characteristic, actual angular characteristic of your accuracy.
Got it.
Okay, so
Mhm.
yeah, so the higher it is, the wider the angle is away from where you're aiming that a bullet could potentially
Yes.
go. So it's okay, cool. So like,
Oh,
I'm
like
looking at-
deviation?
I'm
Yeah,
looking at an
it's-
ADAR right now that has 0.061,
Oh.
so that's how many degrees off of perfect
Basically, where
aim.
you're aiming, where it can like
Yeah,
deviate.
that
Yeah.
the cone that comes
okay,
out.
okay.
From
Yeah,
the
it's like a
head,
small
there
cone
we
of
go.
fire, which is
Yeah,
your MOA.
okay.
I see. Okay.
Since we're talking about bugs and he just said ADAR, can I say this real quick? I
Audio.
swear ADAR is my favorite weapon, and I swear that thing's broken. The second, okay, so you buy an ADAR, it's 100 out of 100 durability, right?
Mhm.
The
Oh, and then
second
it's
you
80
bring it
out of
into
80.
a raid, yeah, the second you bring it into a raid, it goes 80 out of 80, and it can't go back to 100. It just, I hate it.
Did you check it like yesterday
Recently?
or
Yesterday,
today?
yeah.
I mean, even right now,
I changed it actually, and let me recheck it. I
I
changed.
mean, maybe I haven't used a new ADAR, so maybe I have to
Yes,
get
yes,
one
yes,
now.
yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
so I'll try again today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just checking that the durability right now is 100. So I changed
Okay.
it from 80, so it must be okay.
Mhm.
so all right, I
what-
have a question then. So mine says 80 out of 80, but shows red on the top end of it. Am I getting 80 out of 100 effective durability, even though I can only max it at 80? Or is it
No, it's
technically
80.
at 100%? It's at 100% still.
Mhm. Yes.
Just making sure, because I don't want to see a bug where all old ADARs are suddenly trash because they can only go up to 80 dura.
No. Shroud wanted to say something. I think. Yes.
Huh?
I
I did.
was gonna say something.
Yeah. He I think he was going to say something.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
No,
I said it. It was about the ADAR. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just talking about the ADAR. I thought
Okay,
that
okay.
still existed. That's all.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
okay, so the flash hiders, apparently some flash hiders don't actually
Yes.
like hide flash. Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. It's been
Big thing.
no.
The survival kits, if you're trying to like if a person is pushing you and you're trying to put it away, I swear to fucking god, why does the guy has to like lock it in place? Like
He's
you
very
know, like
particular
there's
about where it
the
goes.
clippers, whatever.
Mhm.
I'm sitting there and my
Just better
dude's like,
secure
hey,
my
let me just
buttons real
fucking-
quick. Let me
Yeah,
just.
let me secure the damn fucking container and get shot by SVD.
That reminds me
Like-
of Squad when you have to like you switch guns. You guys are like, well, I got to fold down my iron sights, then put my safety on, and then I can pull my rifle out, dude. That reminds me of Squad a lot. Fucking hate Squad.
You know, it's an animation. We just can't like it's you must enjoy this animation. I'm sorry.
Enjoy it.
I
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Be more careful,
It is
Warren.
a
Be
risk
more
of
careful.
using that item. So just be
Yeah.
more careful, I guess. I kind of
Yeah, be
I
more
don't
careful,
mind
dude.
the animation being long because you have your homies cover you, and you know if
Yeah.
everyone's messed up, one person covers, one person
Mhm.
heals. Is flip, right? And then if you're alone, just leave the animation the same, make it super long, just find a better
Mhm.
spot to cover. And I think it's
Mm,
cool
But
personally.
just
Yeah.
well, certain
Risk
things
versus
don't make sense,
reward.
you know?
Switch the
Actually-
container.
Actually, I noted the thing about that we can actually boost up, speed up the animation.
Yeah, maybe
if
speed up the
you-
animation because
Yeah.
the clippers don't make like I get like the point of animations, like they're good, but I'm
Mhm.
just saying like it
They're
doesn't like really
Okay,
make
okay.
much sense.
Okay, got it.
So is the flare like 60 hertz because it doesn't feel like it. The Reaper feels better refresh rate than the Flare.
It
Even
wasn't. We intentionally debuffed it.
Oh, debuffed it.
Yes, intentionally. That's
Okay, so because a
that's
lot of
because we
people
have
ask.
only two scopes, thermal imaging scopes, and it's I think it's 5 more planned, and we will balance
Okay.
them out and actually make
Cool.
like in real life, the hertz and stuff.
Okay, yeah, because people like asking completely. It says like 60 hertz, but it actually feels like 5 hertz and whatever. So it's just just a clarification so people know.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Do you know about the bug? I'm assuming you guys do, where you your hands are like in front of you with no gun. And it looks
it's
weird.
fixed. It's fixed.
Oh, thank
like
God.
Mhm.
Does that crash the servers? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
In tomorrow's patch, it must be fixed.
Oh yeah, a lot of like bug where you like finish the raid and it tells you to reconnect sometimes. You guys seen that?
Yeah, we know about it. We also know about the crashes and disconnects, but we need more info on that because sometimes it's just some errors that we fixed like already, and it's a high chance that after tomorrow's patch the game will run more stable. But it's still room for the some unpredictable shitty things in the game related to something. You need as much information as possible. That's why I need to use bug reports, and it's cool. It's always a cool thing for you guys, for you streamers, to show people to actually how to report bugs because it helps a lot. And
I'll show chat right now.
Warren, how long is this list? Is it almost done?
Last question.
last page
No, legit last question. I know you guys like worked on the grenades for scavs, but like their trajectory is still like perfect. You know what I mean? Like if a player throws a grenade, it's not like PUBG where you can modify like the arc of the grenade or whatever. But like scavs still do that. Look, scav boss rather. You know what I mean?
I think that's this is about that the scav bosses and his guards has an increased grenade accuracy, and
they have most perfect arc it will ever be. Like it's instant.
It's
that's
insane.
that's we will check on it. I think we will make it a little less precise. Yeah, I
Just
know
because as a player we don't really have that much. We only have underhand and then like a regular throw, and it's hard to obviously throw them perfectly, especially at a close distance. But they at a close distance throw them.
They're incredible every time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay.
and maybe like toss it up like between flashbangs and grenades. I know the Raiders throw grenades. I've never seen Scav Boss, the Gluchar. I don't never seen them throw flashbangs. I don't know. Maybe I just got shit
Okay.
random.
I will check this too.
I've actually seen them throw flashbangs. They've thrown
You did?
flashbangs at me
Oh.
before. Yeah,
I just
they
never
have.
seen them. That's one.
They don't throw nades that often. They just push your ass. Honestly, that's what they just literally they run at you. That's what they like to do.
Okay.
But anyway, unless anybody has any more last things for Nikita, I think we should let him go. It's late for him. He's got to get some sleep.
One more page.
Okay, dude. I'm a leg meta you right now, Warren. I swear to God.
I was kidding.
I think we're good. We're good. I know there's a lot of stuff that chat is like, what about this?
I mean, honestly, this could go on for hours and hours on
Yes.
end. But like, it's I don't know what time it is over there. Probably like 1 or 2 a.m.
It's like it's 11 out over there. 11, almost midnight.
Mm-hmm. More than like it's 11:18. Like it's I don't know.
Late, not super late.
0.18 in the.
We got to
23:18.
Yeah.
No, it's not 23. 24:18.
Oh, midnight.
Like,
That's
yes.
Oh, midnight then.
So 8
Yeah,
hour difference.
it could be like it could be like I know, especially with you guys. There's so many like questionable things are being discussed, and I think it's pretty useful thing for me for understanding how the game actually how do you experience the game properly or not properly. So this
Mhm.
kind of talks is pretty useful for me, especially for the production. And I think it's a good thing to have these talks from time to time, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
We'll do another one.
100%.
We can do another one like in a month or something after like
I'll
the
keep a
next
binder up.
patch or whatever.
Yeah, for real. I think I might start. I'm gonna have to build like a spreadsheet of questions from people
Yeah.
to play. So
I mean, a lot of those were like not just like my personal thing. It's just people ask about it all the time, and it's just I don't know. It's
VoIP,
like
VoIP,
good thing.
VoIP, VoIP, VoIP,
VoIP, you know, like
VoIP,
other
VoIP,
the
VoIP,
type of things that people ask all the
Oh
time,
my
but something like
God.
more specific that it's not like top of your head, but when you play the game, it actually you get like either irritated by it or you question it. You know,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
some of those
I,
things.
I saw in chat people was asking about the fog inside the buildings.
I hate that shit.
Mhm.
Just wanted to say that not this is not an easy task to solve, because some people say just put a trigger, you cross this trigger and the fog will disappear, but you can actually be inside the building and see through window. You must see the fog over
Yeah.
there outside. That's why this is not an easy task to do. But we have something to. I don't like it either. Like it's not realistic at all. But we have something to do in this term, so don't worry.
Mhm.
I think most of the things that you are asking, or plans, or they will be planned after you actually ask them. And there's like that's a good thing. It points that the community and the players are intelligent and pretty dedicated already to the game.
yeah.
They know what to ask, and they know what to ask, not demand, what to ask. And it's pretty important for us, because these demands, they are not making our life easier. Because I hope you understand that we want to make EFT a great game for you. It's like for you, not
Not
for
fun
us, for
though.
you.
Not fun.
Not fun, yes.
Not fun.
That's
Challenging.
and we are really making our efforts. We are trying to do this, and that's our goal. We don't want to make something and like leave it unfinished. We want to make it finished, and we don't want to make it for a long time. We want to actually release the game, because it's getting like
I want to see you make a
getting
single player
crazy.
game, dude. I want to see that single
Yes,
player
I
game.
wanted
I want
to.
to
I
see
wanted
it,
to.
dude.
I wanted to make the games, and I don't want to make a game. You know, the game of my life. I want to make games, and
Games.
yeah, that's why you should calm. You should be calm, and I want you to be um, sure in us, in our work, and especially I like really happy that the game right now has a lot of fans, especially such famous and beautiful fans. And so this is kind of cool, because for me it's just the thing that we do something important. And even if it's game, even if it's game, just like some kind of, your stupid gaming computerish things, as your parents can say, yeah, it's important thing. It's a lot of people who do the job, who does the job. And it's a grown up people, actually. It's their choice, like, to make the game. It's not some kind of the garage corporation where people decided to let's make a game. Oh yeah, Unity is pretty easy, of course. 3 months, 3 months and the game will be ready. We will make millions of them. It's not about this. It's a struggle. It's constant. It's a war, actually. And we are fighting with the consequences. We are fighting with the things that trying to stop us. Technical difficulties, bad people trying to ruin your experience and ruin the development. There's a lot of haters, but I think this patch decreased them, and I hope that it's because our work and the result of this. Let's keep it this way. I hope you will stay with us more, and there will be many interesting things in the game. We will keep you informed. Don't forget to write bug reports. Don't forget, say your opinions and say your say your thoughts on the Reddit, on the forums and social media.
Hatchlings,
Yeah, hatchlings.
Can we get another poll for hatchlings? Yes for more limitations, no for leave it how it is.
I think the hatchling days are getting to be done.
Yes. Fuck those little shitters. Well, I mean, not necessarily fuck them, but fuck the game for letting them do that, really is what I mean to say.
Fuck the game.
Because you can't hate the player, man. You hate the game, hate the rules, man. I'm sorry, Nikita.
No, it's okay.
It's your game's fault, not the players.
It's okay.
Right?
It's okay. Yeah, of course, it's totally about it. This is the game imperfection in terms of we could not even как предсказать по-английски? Foresee. Yes?
Predict.
Predict.
We could not predict.
Anticipate
the hatchling problem, especially in the current condition when the game is pretty popular and lots of casual players are flowing into the game, and we'll see how it will go. I think there will be some official poll.
Maybe I'd also recommend if you do nerf containers, I would suggest making some gear at level 1 traders cheaper, making certain chest rigs, backpacks, just a little easier for them to get, just so that way players can bring in something. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, like 74 UAK, I don't know, TTs. Make stuff a little bit cheaper, just so that way people can bring in some gear and not run out of money.
Instantly kill hashlings. Did you see the poll right now?
I do see this.
Damn. Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Nikita.
That would be a great evening for me, and I hope your opinion about the game will not change. It will be even better. We will try to make it better for you, and thank you very much that you're playing the game. I really appreciate what you do and what you say. For me, it's not only me. For us, it's a fuel to go on, and many developers say that thing, and I will say it too. This is the reason for us to go on. Your opinion, your love for the game, and that's it.
Well, Nikita, we appreciate you, man. You made one of the best games ever, and we appreciate it, dude. We're just happy to be playing.
Thank you very much. So I will be going. Thank you.
Всем
пока, спокойной ночи, счастливо, до свидания, на здоровье.
На здоровье.
Later, boys.
Later.
Отключаемся.
Okay. All right. Raids? Anybody?
I am going to finish. I have only a half hour left, so I'm gonna finish my stream and jump off. But I'll be back on tonight.
Okay.
Roger.
So,
Klean, you trying a game?
Yeah, dude, I'm down. Let's game. I'll meet you in your Discord.
Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? If they fix the library, the XP gain.
Maybe. Nikita, can you still hear us?
Yeah. Right now we are kind of testing this issue that I think there is an issue with the library and physical skills boost.
Like that, it's the air filter.
Yeah. And it right now it's still in the reproduction phase. Maybe tomorrow's patch will fix things. Maybe something actually working already, kinda. So
I'll go test it right now. Mine are built right now. I finished them today,
but I don't think it works actually. But I'll keep fueling up my air filter. Whatever.
We'll test it, dude.
It's hard to test though. That's a really difficult one.
You need those big ass. Well, actually, I think how we could test it is maybe we could ask people in chat to invite. Maybe me and you will go into a raid and we'll get meds and bring a crowbar. I'll smack you in the leg and we'll see how much it levels up, and we'll have somebody else do that too and see how it goes.
Oh, I see.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's the Nikita. Later, man.
Later, dude.